Disturbing images of civilians caught in the crossfire are trickling out of Sri Lanka. The images, sent by an organization linked to the Tamil Tiger rebels, denounced by the government as enemy propaganda. But the government won't allow independent media into the war zone, leaving many news organizations to rely on video put out by both sides of the conflict. International journalist organizations are becoming increasingly critical of the treatment of journalists in Sri Lanka. The latest warning to foreign journalists and diplomats was published in a Sri Lankan newspaper. Sri Lanka's defense secretary saying, quote, "They will be chased away if they try to give a second wind to the separatist Tamil Tigers."
Yeah, well, the immediate threat is that there have been some significant military successes for the government forces in the north of the country. And there seems to be some kind of a mood of triumphalism about. And there seems to be a mood that they can settle scores with critical voices in the media.
Last month, this independent television station was attacked after the government-run media criticized the station's coverage of the war. The station manager of Sarasa TV talked to CNN then.
We're just hoping that the police could get to the bottom of this and bring to book whoever the perpetrators are.
After the interview aired, the defense secretary responded, calling Chivan Daniel a terrorist.
I saw the news on CNN. A person in the Sarasa station was talking. The gist of it was that a Claymore mine was used and that the government was responsible for the attack. The person who spoke, I know, he's a terrorist.
The government condemned the attack and said it was investigating whether it was carried out to discredit the authorities. Another attack killed a prominent journalist. Sunday leader, editor-in-chief Lasantha Wickrematunge was shot in rush-hour traffic. He said he'd been threatened many times before. His newspaper had long been a thorn in the government's side. After his death, an editorial he had written was published predicting his own demise. It reads in part, "People often ask me why I take such risks and tell me it's a matter of time before I am bumped off. In all these cases, I have reason to believe the attacks were inspired by the government. When finally I am killed, it will be the government that kills me."
The government is very clear that those who perpetrated this would be tracked down. There is no logic behind the assertion that there was complicity by any agency of the state.
Sukumar Mulitharan of the IFJ says Wickrematunge's family-owned business was taking on a calculated risk.
They were well connected to both the government and the opposition political hierarchies. And we believed that this would be sufficient protection for him. Obviously, we thought wrong.
The attacks, many journalists say, is one reason why the story of this war is yet to be fully told. Sarah Seidner, CNN, New Delhi.